Hello everyone and welcome to a new footprint setup video. In this video we will talk about my EUR USD short trade that I just executed and will explain you why I've decided to short it. Let's go. So let's have a look at the chart. I usually unfold the chart and start with the daily or weekly chart to find the best potential reversal trades. But I think you know how that works. We want to get into the footprint chart as quick as possible for this video. So I'm starting with the 1 hour chart, as you can see at the top. And what we can clearly see is we had a consolidation here. The market was pretty choppy due to the fundamental situation. And we have some extreme levels here. Look at this. There is a very nice support area down here. And we had a very nice resistance area right here. And I'm saying area because in this case we have strong areas with lots of fake outs. You know, the market was pretty choppy, so we had areas where the market was kind of fighting, fishing liquidity, turning around, moving up down, pretty chaotic, pretty choppy. So what we see is a consolidation, a move down, fundamentally driven again, a retest. So kind of like, you know, a potential downtrend. We see this is an ABC wave, then the pump up due to the news. And this week we're gonna get more CPI data. The market will probably wait for to price in what is more likely to see by Jerome Powell, so it could be choppy. Now we get into the 30-minute chart and you will see it's a very nice zone to trade actually. As you can see, we had a move up here. Look at this, nice rejection, and again another retest right off this level, again rejection. Market moves down, a fake out, and then the distribution that caused this move to the downside. Now look, when I mark up this high, you can clearly see we have the same reaction again. Look at this. I get into the 15-minute chart now and you will see we can clearly see the up move here. ISM manufacturing PMI, which has been worse than expected. Momentum, the market moves up and we clearly can see the first type of rejection here. Another impulse to the upside, trying to break through, again rejection. Now we're gonna look at the volume profile and then at the footprint chart, and I will explain you how I have decided to short right here. So what you see right here is the volume profile of the current session. In orange we see the value area, in white, or the white stripe, is the point of control, and the purple vertical line is the initial volume or initial balance. And what we can clearly see is the market went up and the volume chased price. So acceptance of higher prices during the Asia session, and that changed with the London session. As you can see right here, we have the opening of the London here in this area. The market moves up, and as you can see, we have a high volume node right there, right at the top of the value area called the value area high. And what we see is the market rejected off this level like 4 times in this case, and then we get a fake out of this level above the value area high, which is very common. We see this setup very often. The market moves below the value area high again, retests, we see a rejection, and the market moves down at least back to the POC. And that's what we always want to do. We never want to trade at the POC because this is where most of the business is happening. This is where the market is usually balanced, yeah, as it is the most accepted price of the market. And we don't want to be in a balanced market. We want to be in profit as quick as possible, which is why we are looking for price zones where the market is pretty unbalanced, where the market is rejecting the price, and we can expect price to move back into the balanced areas. Means we don't trade away from the POC, we trade towards the POC. And that was exactly the idea in this trade. I wanted to trade from the value area high to the POC when I see that volume is not chasing or supporting the breakout. So let's have a look at the delta and see whether we see some divergences or not. That could be an indication or an evidence for a reversal. So what we see is here at the first candle with the opening, we see a delta divergence. Yeah, it's pretty chaotic in the first candle, so we don't really take this serious. What we can see is we have a lot of sellers here. The market moves up, yeah, due to absorption. We probably had front pushing. The market moves up and instantly gets rejected off. Look, there's not much of open buy interest here at this candle. Then we get down, we see another retest. We have higher buy volume here, but buyers are not really following. Instead, we get here some absorption. We have more sellers in the market than buyers. We see some absorption, but look at the volume. It's pretty thin. The delta is not really like popping into one direction, because if we get a breakout like here, then we want to see that more buyers are attracted to follow the breakout, and we suddenly see a very positive delta or a very negative delta, but at least front pushing something, a delta event, some volume that is popping, volume that is coming in to support a breakup. But if we have no volume, then we know there is not much of open interest in a breakout. So what we see is suddenly, look at this, how the delta kicks in. Look, the market moves down, we get lots of sellers. Look at the delta. The market again moves down. Look at the delta. The delta is always increasing, and then suddenly, boom, we get a huge delta. I already was in the trade right here, but I've seen when the market moved down, we had an exhaustion here, and the market moved down, and we suddenly get more sellers in the market, which is clearly showing that this could be a fake out. I was waiting for that fake move to be confirmed to jump into the trade, and I will show you that in the footprint chart. So let's have a look at the footprint chart and see what happened as soon as the market approached the resistance level that are already marked up in red. So with the first touch, we can clearly see a lot of volume up there. Look, there are 262 contracts on the bid side, means we have a lot of aggressive selling up there. Could be profit saves, but as always, I'm not taking that as a trade opportunity, as I want to see at least a second retest, and I'm not trading ahead the opening of the London session. So I want to see the big players of the London session to come into the market and give me a confirmation. So we see a move down. Look at this, very high volume up there. We see a move down, and the market finds support right at the point of control and at the VWAP. The market moves up again, and now we see momentum, and we get imbalances, so dynamic in the market. And now look again, we approach exactly the same level. Look, and we again have a very strong seller here. Again, 260 contracts on the bid side, so a lot of aggressive selling. Now I'm waking up because I know, aha, something is going to happen. We have to keep in mind, we have the opening here, so it can be volatile. We want to wait, we want to get extra confirmation, because the volatility can settle down, and then suddenly we see a breakthrough. We don't know, we have to wait. So we get another test. Now look at the volume. The volume is decreasing now as the volatility settles down. The volume, the speed, the auction activity is settling down, and we constantly see rejection. Look, the market moves up, we get buyers here, but the market moves down, price moves down, so buyers don't really have any impact on price. The delta is pretty neutral, so it's 26, yeah, but that's not pretty impressive. If we want to see a breakout, then we want to see high positive delta or high negative delta and aggressive front pushing, which is confirming strong absorption here. The volume moves down again, we get another test to the upside. Look, get even imbalances on both sides, so we had some speed in the market. Buyers up here, probably trap buyers up there, as the market instantly moves down, and all the buyers up here, or all these buy positions, are now underwater. This is probably also why we suddenly see strong sell power here. Look, the market moves down as the buyers taking the chance to close positions, or maybe there were some scalp traders and they already got stopped out, so we get high volume here. Market moves down, another attempt by buyers to come in, but the volume is now pretty thin, so we don't do anything right now. We just wait for another test of this area. If, for example, we would get an exhaustion up here, we could take this as a short opportunity, but there's, as you can see, a move up. We have again higher volume up here. The point is not following, which is already a good sign, but this is showing there is still open interest. The market moves up again. We have some front pushing as we got more sellers. Again, pretty balanced market. It's not even worth to talk about it. So now we want to see what happens as soon as the market approaches this level here again of the trap buyers. We get some absorption here again, front pushing. So the market is kind of trying to push through this resistance level, so we got to be very careful. We have an unfinished auction, also an evidence of a push up, and the market, as you can see, pushes up. But the point here is, and I've already mentioned that when we looked at the delta profile, we don't have a lot of volume, and the volume is not really chasing price up, so there is not a lot of open interest to buy higher prices. In this case, we see the price moves up, the POC is still here, and now we get the instant V reversal as the market moves down. There's the POC. We see lots of buyers up there, but the buyers have no impact on price at all. So we see absorption again. And where have we seen absorption? Right here. There has been absorption, there is absorption, and we know right there are aggressive sellers. Now look at their horizontal delta profile, and you can see there is a strong resistance of aggressive selling. And if we see, in addition, we have absorption by sellers, we know we have aggressive selling plus passive selling, which is making it more likely to see that price is going to reject off from this resistance. And that's exactly what happens. Look, the market moves down and we get following sellers here. The sellers are pushing price down. There's a bit of exhaustion here, and now I want to see what happens as soon as we get the retest. We have a POC shift to the downside, so lower prices are accepted by the market. The market moves up again, and look, exhaustion right here, where we've seen already exhaustion in the candle before. The POC is not really moving up, just 2 ticks up. We have the main volume right here. We got imbalances on the sell side. We have an exhaustion up here, and I go short because I know this price is not interesting anymore. And if it's not interesting, it's going to be rejected. So we got aggressive selling. We have strong absorption by sellers, and we know there is an exhaustion, so buyers are probably giving up in this case, and the price is very, very likely to fall. Now look at the cluster statistics and you can see this delta unwind. Look, we had this move up, no volume, almost a neutral delta, very thin volume. Then we get high volume and a very negative delta, so we know there is more open interest on the sell side. Then we see more negative delta, so more sellers are coming in, probably again stop losses by the trapped buyers who were trying to participate on the breakout. As we know, there are probably buy stops up there. There are obviously also stop losses up there, but there are buy stops and breakout traders waiting for the market to get above this resistance. Yeah, they all are trapped. They might get stopped out right here, and as well as here, as well as here. As we see, more imbalances are coming in. The faster the market is, the more imbalances we have, the more likely it is that we see stop losses getting triggered. And look at this high volume, and the market finally moves towards the point of control and the VWAP. So basically, like I said, the reason why I've executed this setup is, I repeat it once again, aggressive selling confirmed once again right here. Then we see exhaustion, then we see absorption, probably trap buyers. Market moves back towards these trap buyers. We see an exhaustion up here, instant V reversal as we have higher volume and negative delta, suddenly aggressive selling, as well as again here absorption and then an exhaustion with the retest, and I've decided to sell. Alright guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed that video and will help you with your order flow trading. Overall, we can't say this is a clear or clean fixed setup, such as absorption setup or a breakout setup. This is just a reversal setup based on the dynamic and the change in dynamic. So guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to stay tuned. I have tons of videos for you, tons of setups that I've traded. I had some holidays during New Year's Eve and Christmas, spent some time with family and friends, but more videos will come very soon. So stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.